Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 214. Stop overthinking it. EA services are a niche.
Do you know what the worst thing you can say to an overthinker is, Joe Jensen?
Stop overthinking it.
Yeah, which we've literally just done in that heading, in that title. But we want you to stop for a minute because we've got some great news if you are an executive assistant or you have EA skills, because you may not know that those skills of yours, EA services, is a niche. And what does it mean when you have a niche, Joe Jensen?
Oh, so many things. Premium pricing, premium clients,
Nice.
clear messaging. It's so much easier to tell people what you do. So many benefits of choosing a niche. And we know that those coming into the industry might be thinking, oh, but you're saying niche, and I only offer one thing. And we see executive assistants go, but I know all of these things. I manage projects and I do event planning and I do travel arrangements and I manage inboxes and I manage calendars. How am I going to choose a niche if I can only choose one thing? This is where that overthinking starts to come in. And we know that many of you get so confused about what the heck you're going to do as your niche. So this is great news. Great news for you. EA services, it's a niche.
Congratulations. Not only is it a niche, we are here to tell you it's a bloody great niche, and it's a niche that is in demand.
Yeah, it sure is. People want someone to help get them organized, be proactive for them, take care of things just in the background, and free up their time so that they can focus on their core purpose, their revenue generating activities, whatever it is for them that they want to focus on. An EA is the ideal person to help them do that. We are a bit biased because we were EAs in our past lives, right?
And we do believe EAs, or those virtual assistants with a strong EA background, they make the best VA business owners. They really do.
Oh, all of those poor people listening who are not EAs now have had their hearts crushed.
Oh, it's biased. You've just said why we're biased around that. We are EAs.
Yeah.
And you know what? For anyone that has reached that level in their kind of admin career, because yes, it does still fall under admin services, you've worked hard to reach the level of executive assistance. So we don't want you to undervalue or undermine or underappreciate the hard work that it took or has taken you to get to that point. And this is why EA services aren't generalist virtual assistant services. This is why you can, as an EA offering EA services, can ask for those, expect those, get those premium clients paying premium rates because of your different level of skill set and experience that you have as an EA, as opposed to an administrator, a secretary, I don't know what else.
A PA? Well, should we talk about why EA services is a great niche and think carefully about PA in using that term?
It depends on who your ideal client is, though. Like,
this is let's go on a little rabbit hole here about who would choose EA, when you would choose PA, where this is going to suit, because you can't just go out there and think, oh, I'm going to support tradies and I'm going to be an EA, right?
No. This is where you need to have a very clear idea of who your ideal client is. Now, if you may have all this great EA experience, amazing. But if you've decided that your ideal client, the type of client that you want to target, you want to work for are tradies, for instance, a typical tradie in general is not going to know what an EA is. It's not going to be a term that they're overly familiar with, unless they're married to someone who's an EA or has a sister that's an EA or a mother that's an EA. It's not going to be a term that they're going to be looking for.
No.
So
I think as the name suggests, executive assistant. Yeah. It's an assistant to an executive. Yes. So really be mindful about your ideal client needs to be in that kind of executive kind of
world. Yeah.
A coach might still know what an EA is, absolutely, but they're in that kind of executive world. So yeah, be mindful of who your ideal client will be if you are going to choose the term virtual executive assistant. With the personal assistant, I think equally you need to be careful about who you are going to have as your ideal client too, because sometimes I see virtual assistants say that I'm a virtual personal assistant or a personal virtual assistant. And I think there can be some confusion around, if you're going to say personal virtual assistant, for me, that says to me that you are going to do personal admin for me as a virtual assistant.
Yeah, in all of my previous PA roles, as opposed to EA, PA roles, there was always some level of personal assistance I was doing as well as business assistance. So whether that was picking up some dry cleaning or whether that was typing correspondence to, I had a boss that used to have a bloody country house and he had staff. So I'd be, so I'd be typing out his stuff to his home staff as well as his business thing. So in my mind, there is always a level of personal assistance involved with being a personal assistant.
Yeah. So think about what the term is that you are going to use so that it suits your ideal client and they are going to understand, and then it's going to relate to the services that you will be providing. For someone who's an executive assistant but really wants to work for tradies, for example, then you could think about, okay, what is the term that a tradie is going to think about when they have an assistant? And that might be that they have an office manager. So you're a virtual office manager for a tradie, because they're going to understand that. And an office manager is like an EA where they do so many different things, a huge variety of tasks for someone. That may be a better term. So
yeah,
they're all niches.
There's an incredible amount of tasks that you would provide as a virtual office manager and a virtual EA that overlap for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Okay. So we hope that has helped you stop overthinking this niche that you are trying to choose as a new or beginner virtual assistant. EA services is absolutely a niche and a really bloody great one. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the mastermind and the amazing resources, courses, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.